and that means that there are some attendees also joining that way. And we actually have every week, quite a few individuals. So those who are through Facebook Live, we are actually starting now with the virtual site visit. So here we are. We're in the beautiful island. And Gianluca, yes, could you tell a little bit about how to get here? I mean, and where are we?
Exactly. Yeah, we are in Venice. Welcome to Venice, Italy. The island is a private island set in the beautiful Venetian lagoon, just a few minutes away from the city center. If every one of you is familiar with Venice, we are just 15 minutes boat ride from San Mark's Square, which is the heart of the city. The island is very well linked to the city and its premises with a private shuttle that we do offer on a complimentary basis daily, every 30 minutes, roughly from 8 o'clock in the morning until midnight. The island itself, again, is a private island, so you may find nothing but the hotel and its beautiful outlets in it. It was originally born a bit of history. Not to be boring, that's an artificial island. So it dates back of end of 1800s, and that was made with the digging material and digging land of the Venice cruise terminal. So it was really helpful. It was kind of predecessor of what is Dubai now. So we were Dubai before Dubai came up. So the whole island is artificial, and you might see it because all the borders of the island are slowly going into the sea. The whole island is actually the second biggest in the Venetian lagoon, 16 acres. So very valuable when it comes to open space. It was originally born as the so-called Garden of Venice, because when it came up and when the island was born, all the Venetian had their own piece of land. And that's because it's in between the conjunction of the open sea and the lagoon. And that has been studied. So it's certified that there's a microclimate. So this is why, at the very beginning of the island, there was, the gardens, and all the Venetians got their own piece of land. And now we grow our olive trees, from which we produce our own olive oil, roughly 150 liters a year, which is a very good, takeaway. And it's much used as well in the preparations of our main restaurant, the fancy Dopolavoro, Viola Dopolavoro. And we do have a couple of treatments at the spa made with our own olive oil. So worth a try.
Maybe we will take a look at the video, which will showcase a little bit also what you just mentioned. And we get into the atmosphere of arriving. Yep. So here we go, and please enjoy. I got some goosebumps because it's been a while since we were able to attend such a lovely event.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. So let's just jump directly to the meeting rooms, as we saw some examples there. So Venetian ballroom, and how about this space? So what are the regulations right now? I mean, how is it? Is the property open?
The property is actually not open because we are a seasonal hotel. So we normally open March till November. So we are foreseeing to reopen back in end of March, hopefully earlier if we get some nice requests, latest by mid-end of April. And that's, maybe you may think about Venice not being so mice friendly and not so event friendly. While it is not, absolutely. So don't get scared about, reaching the island, because it's very easy, and with its 6 different landing docks, we can have up to 450 people arriving and leaving from the island altogether. On top of that, we are one of the 2 biggest MICE venues in Venice. Our conference center is made out of 11 meeting rooms, plus a beautiful deconsecrated church, and the whole conference center sits on a private building. So it's separated from the rest of the hotel. Again, don't get scared, because it's just, we're talking of 30-40 seconds walking from the main lobby. But that's a good thing when it comes to events, because it's completely separate, completely private, completely customizable, and brandable pretty much everywhere. The main ballroom is actually the tallest one we have in Venice, because it's a 7-meter ballroom, which is a real 7-meter, because there is no obstructions with chandelier or lamps. So it's really impressive when you want to do a big truss, a big setup. It's a full natural daylight, but it can be 100% blinded. Just to give you a rough idea, we've had quite a few car launches, and the ballroom was able to host 2 to 3, depending on the event, cars inside. So
are these which way are the cars coming in?
Once they came on the left-hand side windows, we just simply took off the frames of the window and we placed the car in. And for the other event, they came from the back door. But that was a very easy process. I mean, for how much putting a car into a ballroom can be easy. But that's just to say that we are used to big event, we are used to massive event, we are used to massive production, and that's pretty much never a no from our end.
Yes. When you said about the MICE destination, and analyzing actually that, I've been twice actually here at the JW Marriott, in Venice, and first time was with MPI Italy chapter, so I happened to be a international guest, and then we had a really nice dinner at this property, and then another one was the Iberian MICE Forum, and we did some nice sailing activities, and then afterwards we arrived here, and both times the arrival itself, because you're taking the boat, is really impressively, it's just a nice first impression, I would say, just for everybody.
Absolutely.
And so it's gorgeous.
Yeah, that goes back of my introduction. Even though it might be, someone may think, yeah, but everything is on the water. Yes, and luckily everything is on the water, because the distances are not huge. If you consider from the airport, it takes no more than 45-50 minutes, right, which is the average you may find in any other city. But the huge difference that, when you are in an European city, you're just carried on a bus and driven through the traffic. While first of all, in Venice, there is no traffic because everything moves on the water. So you can't get stuck in traffic. There is no traffic lights. So when 45 minutes are said, 45 minutes are. So, and that's already, an experience, because you are on a boat in one of the most beautiful cities in the world, I would say. So that creates already a vibe and an experience. It really boosts up the atmosphere since the beginning. It doesn't create any boring memories.
No, it's like what you said, the trip starts from the moment you land to Italy. And because you can take the boat directly from the airport, Venice airport, to this hotel and resort. So that's why it is really actually talking about current situation, the pandemic, it's one of I would preferred ways, so we don't have to use any public transportation.
Right.
Just your own group on a boat, and then you get this whole trip started, you know. And imagine now when we've been confined, remotely working. So the moment that we're able to take those trips and, you know, bring our groups and sea level incentive, for example, on this kind of location, I mean, that impact will be even stronger than ever before.
Exactly. Plus, we have seen a good reaction from the city and suppliers and partners when it comes to restrictions. So yes, it's true that 100 people boat cannot anymore carry 100 people, but you can find, you know, good negotiation when it comes to rate, when you need to get 2 boats instead of 1. We've seen that the reaction from the partners is very, you know, reasonable, and good compromises can be taken there.
Exactly. So a little bit about the San Marco Hall. What's the history behind it?
Yeah. That's the church. So back to a bit of history of that. During the 1920s, when Mussolini took over Italy, one of the decisions he made was to deconcentrate all the, you know, hospital and clinics outside of the city center to get them in the islands. So all the small Venetian islands were allocated to a specific, you know, need in terms of health. So our island was chosen because of the microclimate to be a clinic for breast diseases. So again, there was a, you know, working community in there, and in Italy, whenever you have a working community, you need to have a church. And that is when the church came up. So that's an original church, of course, restored, reconstructed after over 40 years, I would say. And now it's a full 200 square meter space, equipped with toilets, equipped with AC, equipped with heating system, equipped with sound and lightings already. Fully flexible, because, you know, I always like to say that it's mainly used as an after dinner venue. So DJ sets or, you know, cocktail. But that's really, you know, there is no limit on what you can do. We've had, again, meetings. So whenever you have a meeting of 120, 180 people, and you want to do a, you know, an alternative location with huge Murano chandelier and the lagoon, you go for the church. You want to have a fancy dinner, elegant wedding. You want to have, you know, a concert. That's just that space where, you know, an empty box that you just can fill in.
The acoustics must be amazing, you know, thinking of
acoustic is just amazing, and that is why, again, I mean, talking about acoustic, the good thing is that being on a private building, there is no restrictions when it comes to sounds and late timings. You're pretty much free to go until whichever time you like.
So then once that concert or before it, there might be a seminar or back office. So you do have some breakout rooms as well. So we're looking at one here, and I guess you have the same restrictions as we have for, you know, 2021 as well, which is 1.5 meter distance.
Yeah.
So how does the air conditioning work? Because you have so much fresh air, so we can probably just keep the doors open.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, all the meeting rooms are equipped with AC and heating, but all of them have natural daylight, so windows that can be open. It's very, you know, our protocol foresee as well that with every break, we open the windows, we sanitize the whole room. Normally, we will tend to allocate the seat, so the physical seat to each person. So here we ask the support of the planner, of course, not to change the seats after every break. The meeting space we were seeing has as well a private terrace. The one before, if you
yes.
just go back to the
I'm going back to.
They have a private terrace, so again, nice weather. The breaks can be done outside, and that is, you know, again, allow me COVID-friendly situation, because a lot of activities and a lot of breaks and lunches and meals can be done outside. So we will always tend to offer an outside solution by knowing that we have enough coverage for inside backups when it's needed. Again, ensuring social distancing. One other thing to mention with regards to the breakout rooms is that all of them are joinable. So, for instance, now you see one of the breakout rooms which is connected to the one close by, but the walls can be taken off. So when there's a need to enlarge the meeting space, all of them are coupled, so we can really, expand and turn things around in order to improve and to increase the space.
Talking about the full, yes, go for it, Sheila.
Yeah.
We lost you.
No,
Okay.
I think Anna is really spot on when she mentioned about her experiences. As for me, I have not been to the property, though I was presented the property at an M&I forum as well. However, I think you being here in a virtual site visit with panoramic photos and videos and capacity chats just make it very reasonable for me and really impactful. I feel more confident to actually discuss this with my clients. I do have clients in Venice annually.
And they are welcome.
MICE groups, and of course it goes without saying that our organization's Italian team is very successful in the business because Italy is always there. It's like a dream for everyone to go there, from the USA, from Asia. And looking even at the church you presented, I was actually going to ask, is it still used for weddings and such events?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge wedding destination. I mean, we finally were able to make the island as a wedding destination. It was very well perceived in the very first years of opening. We opened in 2015, so there was not a proper wedding structure in place. But we've seen that without doing anything, we were ending up the season with 35 weddings. So that was a huge number. So now we have dedicated wedding staff from A to Z. So from the sales part till to the operations part. So for 2019, we closed with over 42 weddings roughly in 8 months of operation. So it's huge.
I think so too. A lot of our meeting planners and event organizers from Europe and Asia, and it goes without saying, Indian weddings are very extravagant ones. And I know that Italy, when we visited for a site inspection, nearly every year, always have these $10 million weddings. From the clients that really want to feel the romantic atmosphere of Italian romance. So and here you go, Anna, here you go, wedding.
Yeah, weddings. I was thinking about them because you can privatize these islands, so that makes
exactly.
So
that makes easy from a planner perspective, to be completely hassle-free. You just book out the island. And, for a corporate client, you may instill the feeling of owning a private island in Venice. So that makes things, completely different. And for a wedding couple, it's just their own, the first escape of the newlyweds. So, the feeling is huge. In terms of size of event, we've done a few big ones. We've done Indian weddings for almost 900 people. We've done soccer star weddings. We've done VIP's wedding, but as well a small sized one, because the beauty of the island is that each and every area can be, either privatized in full, or you can privatize just small pieces of it, which makes, things a lot more easier for everyone.
Exactly. And that, again, talking about us booking 6, 12 or 24 months ahead, it's a big difference that maybe privatizing first, most of it. And then, when the events start to shape up, if we start to then know how many people are actually on site and how many are doing the hybrid option, as in, virtual streaming, because we won't go back, on those kind of technical aspects anymore. We know that we will cater those that are maybe injured, or they have other reasons that they can't travel.
Right.
So we have now invested in the technology that every live event hopefully will also enable those to attend that physically maybe cannot. So
Yeah,
so
right.
that's why you're actually giving that backdrop for everyone. Like we can see now, it's enjoyable even if we are not there, just because the images are so breathtaking.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We did a huge job in terms of photo shooting and video shooting, because the island is a destination within the destination, so it really has to be explained in details and in a way lived in details. So of course the invitation is always to come and visit. For big events as well, don't be shy to ask. We can as well, pay the flights, pay the overnights. Because we really want to, make the planner confident that it's easy, and make them aware of, how beautiful it is and how much you miss if you don't book.
Exactly. And it is true, and that's why we are really concentrating on making the most out of that kind of images, just having a lot of multimedia, really highlighting the aspects. And here, what's the story behind the hats? Is there something that
it was mainly a chef's choice, because that's the main restaurant in our main building, because the hotel is made out of in total over 19 buildings, and this is the rooftop restaurant, which is called the Sagra. Sagra is the town party, the town market in Italy. Summer you do this big festivities outside, with street food, and that is the Sagra. So vibrant, noisy, because of course we are noisy. So the idea was to have an Italian feeling, and that is why the restaurant serves main dishes throughout Italy. So they don't only focus on a very good Venetian cuisine, but the aim is to recreate an Italian festival.
Yes, and then here we see also that you have a cooking academy.
Academy.
Yes, and so the chef you mentioned has a lot to say in the restaurant. So what is his name, and is he a signature chef, or should we know him or her?
But that was the previous chef. Now we changed last year. We changed chef. He's a very, very traditional chef, very good Italian chef. His name is Giorgio Schilferegger. So he has a solid experience in high-rank restaurants, and especially in Venetian restaurants. So it's good to have him on board. And of course, being a chef, he knows what to say, he knows how to say it.
Exactly.
And this is, our cooking school. So the idea behind is, to recreate a proper experience within it. And that is nice as well, because, being the Chef Venetian, one of our main selling programs is the full Venetian experience, which means that you decide the menu you roughly want to have with the chef the day before, or during the pre-arrival experience, and then you leave with the chef from the island with around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. You go at the Rialto market, the famous Rialto market, where you can buy the goods and items and foods, and then you of course stop for a spritz. So you can't do a Venetian experience without a spritz break.
Yes. So
you come back, yeah, exactly. You come back together with the chef. You cook your 2 or 3 course meal, and then you sit with the chef at the table. So it's a very fancy family style, and that's a beautiful experience. It's so very well perceived.
You mentioned the Venetian food. So what would be your, for example, favorite or sample?
Well, overall, shellfish is very common in Venice. So I would go for a good plate of pasta with shellfish, like spaghetti alla busara, which is made with crabs and shellfish. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot, and you don't see me in full now, but I'm a fairly good expert in food. My size can tell.
Well, we would like to take
Your
you as
own
a guide then, you
in-house,
know, when
Yeah.
you're visiting.
yeah, collection there of
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the dispensa, which is our, you know, welcome to the hotel, because that's very close to the boat entrance, which, by the way, is, you know, the boat entrance is inside the hotel. So you really arrive inside the lobby. And this is our first site, no? So our welcome card, that's the dispensa is a fully functional and fully, you know, flexible grab and go. So we do offer to-go food for whenever you want to go in Venice. You just grab your box lunch or your, you know, your stuff and go. We do sell products. We do sell our own olive oil. We do sell, of course, some merchandise of the island, but mainly, you know, is a way to gather. You know, that's one of the typical Venetian, you know, tradition is the cicchetteria. The cicchetto is the more Venetian tapa. So the baccaro, which is the, you know, the bar where these tapas and where usually Venetians mingle. So this is a bit the idea behind, to find high quality foods at an affordable price, and but in a, you know, vibrant atmosphere. So there is no sittings because people can stand and can you know, just mingle there, have a coffee and a spritz, have a glass of wine with some ham. So it's a very functional space.
And especially the coffee, you know, is something that I really miss from Italy. So this is
Yeah.
a great area for sitting, you know, after the, well, maybe, you know, just before actually waiting for the partner. It usually is me. So the other person
Have a coffee.
before leaving, but, you know, to see the sights and San Marco and all these.
the interior looks
Yeah.
very comfy and friendly and very modern. Looks very good for maybe incentives for IT professionals that are, you know, wanting to have like an exclusive experience. What is the capacity again of that area, Anna?
We have overall 266 rooms. Oh, sorry, Anna, you want to go ahead?
Oh no, it's yes.
Yeah, no, go.
Thank you. Oh no,
Yeah.
I was only because we looked at the capacity charge already, so we have the details in here.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear.
After dinner, I think Anna wants to go right into the relaxing spot.
I saw the pool.
Yeah.
I think everyone needs and deserves a relax during these times. So
exactly. I mean, look at the view.
Tell us about this rooftop pool. I mean, it looks like an infinity pool to me.
That is, yeah, you nailed it. That's set on the, when we saw the Sagra restaurants on the rooftop, you have the Sagra restaurants inside, then you go outside, you have the Sagra rooftop bar, which is, I think you showed a couple of images before, and then it ends up with this lovely infinity pool overlooking the city. So from here, you can really as well understand how close we are to the city. You know, one thing to say is that that pool, because we have 3 pools around the hotel, that specific pool is, we say adults only, but because children are not allowed. So we only allow children up to a certain age. And that's because, you know, we can, on one hand, recreate different, you know, different areas for different needs according to the customers we have. And that is a good thing.
I like to see the fine details there, the instructions and the towels I can easily see. And it looks like a site for James Bond films with their leading ladies.
Yeah. I do not represent the typical James Bond, the typical expectations of James Bond, but that is, you know, the property that does it much more than I do. Yeah, the good thing, I mean, talking about MICE, the terrace as well can be fully privatized. So think about having a welcome cocktail up in the terrace. It already, as we said before, after the boat ride, you have a cocktail on the terrace, and you know, there's nothing more you want from your first day.
Exactly. I mean, you know, again, the first time I arrived to Venice, I actually came with a cruise line, and you know, the wake up was like before 7 a.m. So I was on a holiday, and the wake up was at 7 a.m. to make sure that, you know, see this site, the actual, you know, what we're looking at right here. And I mean, arriving, for example, at the evening flight, then waking up at 7 and coming on the rooftop to just view this would be exactly what I experienced there. It's just that, you know, iconic, you know, world famous location with the, you know, all these sites that, and then, you know, you can just relax before and after. And because it's part of the experience, you know, that going on either water taxi or in this one, you will get that experience automatically.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
And here we have family pool as well.
Yeah, we do have a family pool which is in the park. So again, back to what we said before. This is purely for family. In front of this pool, we have a huge garden when we have plenty of activities, so sports activities, volleyball, soccer, you know, any kind. There's really, we have a full team of people that, you know, entertain. That's not the typical, you know, resort entertainment. So they are there, and you know that if you need them, you can apply to them. And that can be turned, you know, that's a family pool, yes, but that can be turned into a nice event venue when you want to do a barbecue, when you want to do a pool party, an evening pool party, or even when you want to privatize it for the full day for an incentive, because that's something we have done as well.
Yes.
And again, that comes back to the flexibility not only of the space, but the flexibility as well in terms of allowing and doing something, and you know, having a yes attitude that we all have in the staff. So
for photo shoots, then, you know, worked with the Helsinki Fashion Week and festival, you know, that is as well, but also other fashion related industry location scouting, you know, where to do the photo shoots. And here, when you just mentioned the pool area, because you can privatize it, and then I mean, you can have some fantastic backdrops there. But look at this one as well. This is a spa, and
this is a spa.
So you're gonna actually have your treatment looking at, again, the sea.
Yeah, correct.
It's priceless. I mean, nature is just abundant. Especially outdoors nowadays, is really well appreciated. It's amazing to look at it right now in a winter snowy Finland. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, it goes into the bucket list, what's happening after the lockdown. So here, is this the reception area?
That's the spa reception area.
So the architecture is, again, spectacular.
Yeah, the overall project has been followed and looked after by Matteo Thun, which is from the Thun family, you know, the small puppets. And he was one of the, you know, he is actually, sorry, one of the main architects and architects. So the aim was, of course, we do not have an historical palazzo, so it wouldn't have made sense to recreate a Venetian style. The project itself and the aim itself was born, you know, by recreating Venice and its surrounding with the materials and the colors. So instead there is a lot of Venice into you know, the colors and materials that were used. Everything reminds of the quietness of the lagoon, you know, the greens and the light blues. And for instance, all the woods are woods that are coming from Venice and its surrounding. So there's a lot of to give as well in terms of connection to the local atmosphere.
The range and variety of the look and feel is so abundant. I mean, I felt like in the beginning we started with a mask festival, your Venetian attraction, and then here I can imagine it looks almost tropical, and
yeah,
the lights,
in a way, yes.
The blues and the greens and the oranges are just so amazing. And over there you can see the century-old capital of Europe. So it's amazing for me, really.
Well, I mean, you see the history behind, and with the, you know, with the contemporary luxury. So there we go, a nice tea as well, ginger tea after spa treatments. But there we have also, I mean, it looks like, can you actually privatize these areas? Are there rooms in there also in this building?
That is only the spa, which as a overall area is the biggest in Venice, because overall we're talking of 2,500 square meters. We do not have rooms there. We have rooms close by. We have a building of 26 rooms just opposite to the spa. And you can, you know, as we said before, you can privatize the small area. So you can have the building on your own for an incentive, and then you can privatize the spa for a couple of hours a day, which is your spa. And these two buildings, they have a private dock for boats, so you can eventually privatize your own, your own arrival experience and your own boat dock. So you know, you can really twist things around according to what you want to give, with what you want to communicate with your events. You can really do, you know, a lot of adjustments here and there, and privatizations here and there to.
So how many rooms did you have on the deluxe room category?
In total, or?
In total.
In total, we have 160 deluxe overall. It's 266 rooms in total. In terms of rooms, we do have 14 different room types because of, you know, all the rooms are in 5 different buildings. So let's say we classify deluxe in 2 different buildings. In the main building, we have 140. In the other building, we have 20. So 160 total to give a bit of consistency. We have very spacious room, especially when it comes to a city like Venice, where normally the size of a standard room is 20-25 square meters. We start from 36. So our deluxe room entry level, they range 36 to 46 square meters. So again, a lot of space, which is what we want. A lot of light, which, you know, welcomes the guest, and you know, something that we only have in Venice is a lot of outside space in the rooms as well. So a lot of balconies, a lot of gardens. You know, we have a lot of rooms with a private garden. We have 16 rooms with a private pool, taking into account roughly 120 rooms in total with a private space outside. And again, you know, on a COVID, on a post-COVID, you know, scenario, the outside space as well is something that helps a lot in the room. It
does. I mean, that's what we are looking for now for our events, is definitely something that incorporates the outdoor space for welcoming drinks and, you know, having that rotation also from inside space to outside all the time. Correct. But then here, we are in a reality working from home. So I've actually taken 3 remote working holidays. So it's not holiday, but it's basically working from a hotel or another location. So, and I'm actually looking at digital nomad citizenship. So it's an e-citizenship, but so working from a location for longer periods of time. So this is what I would say one of the most popular segments for travelers will be for 2021 as well, because we need to change. We have this inner feeling of needing to change the environment, but it's more responsible and I would say sustainable to stay instead of hop around, because then we are obviously safer as well, safer for others.
Yeah, right.
So what about the long-term leases? So how long could a person stay with you guys?
Let's say as much as they want, of course, but we were a bit of the precursor of the long stay because of, you know, the specifics of the island. We've seen since year one that the length of stay, the average length of stay that was with Venice was already almost doubled to us. So when in Venice, the average length of stay was 1.5 to 2 nights. We closed the first year with 3.6 nights. So, yes. And on top of that, you know, these all like the room you're seeing now with a nice outside space, with a nice pool, that really boosts. We usually have during summer, especially stays of over 10 nights.
Yes.
10, 11, 15 nights. So it's very common, I would say. So
already, so we're looking at these to even go up, you know, just because, I mean, yeah, just so it's feasible, feasible for the current climate. And so for remote working, I mean, Wi-Fi works amazingly because you have all these events anyway. So it's a, you know, corporate friendly hotel in that sense.
Absolutely, yes. Is we have a huge desks inside, but on top of that, you know, when there is a need, we can add some. We have coffee facilities in the room, so which is something that was already in place pre-COVID, and something that was really well perceived from us. So we have an espresso machine in every single room, starting from the standard category, with cups that are replaced daily. So that's something that you know I will take as a plus. Complimentary kettle for tea and American coffee in the room. We do have not every hotel in Venice has I think just a few ironing board in the room. So again, you do a long stay, you don't want to send everything to the laundry every day. So you can do your ironing in the room, which is again something that is pretty useful, you know, for especially when it comes to long stay.
And a lot of space as well.
And a lot of space, of course.
So this one is spectacular. So you have your own pool here.
Yeah, and on top of that, you know, you are out of the hustle and bustle of a city. So you know, you have a 16-acre island. You wanna work in your room and then take a 15 minutes break. You just can go out and walk in one of the parks. You can take a swim in one of the pools. You can you know, walk around and discuss with the chef about herbs and fruits. So, you know,
we certainly, even the MICE groups, want to see items of their bedrooms and the bathrooms, you know, especially for long haul MICE travelers, even for leisure, that are in the groups of 50 to 100, which I actually take care of in Italy every year. They do want to see what should they put in their 30 kilos luggage allowance. So if I see already that there is an ironing facilities and hair dryer, that would really make sense to me, even though if I'm traveling on leisure or as a part of MICE group. And I'm just welcoming right now some of my guests actually from APAC. Thank you so much for coming in case you have questions for your long haul travel to Italy. JW Marriott Resort and Spa is really ready to welcome us. Perhaps now is the time to look at our COVID solutions, Anna.
Yeah, so
we have 15 minutes to go, and I would love to hear updates, especially from the Marriott, on their COVID solutions and how we can meet safely at these times.
Definitely. So let's jump on to, we have the details here. I mean, you mentioned about looking at the bathrooms as well. So amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we can approve
marbles?
This. So I'll jump into the COVID details just so that, you know, we have the, but I mean, those that just arrived, just to highlight that this is an island and we are located right next to Venice. And here on the right lower corner, we have those details that if you want to see the safety aspects, you know, and familiarize yourself in your own comfort and time, we are sending the link to this virtual site visit so you can also look at the details here. But I mean, it is true though, like when choosing those remote working locations, one was Algau in Alps this summer, so middle of nowhere basically. One was in Norway, Lofoten, which is an island as well, but again, middle of nowhere from people, no people. So one was really important in that property was that they had still taken care of the, you know, the COVID details, as in, you know, what's the hygiene level, what are the new protocols, the cleaning standards, etc. So that's why we do actually like to read these before choosing our longest stay properties as well.
And so for the benefit of our clients, you can of course download this right to your mobile phone using Visualizer Site Visit. And if it's offline, you can still access it because it's easily accessible from the COVID sign here, which hand sign, meaning like very visible on the first page and every page of the Visualizer Site Visit. I do like the look and feel of this page, the greens and the calming colors. So it really gives me a sense of security and the neatness of how it is presented.
Also, the council that, there's been a lot of research done by the chain itself, and Marriott chain, has established these protocols. And that's what we also noticed, that when we are talking to our clients, it's quite easy to choose a global chain because we know that, these standards are very high anyway before COVID. So it's just been highlighted, but, the cleanliness was exceptional, prior already.
True. There's always been, especially with Marriott, high attention to, customer service, which is not only, a nice smile and a nice approach, but is as well taking care of yourself, because then you can take care, of your guests. So that was always been that's always been a strong for Marriott, especially now. I think we are one of the first big chains coming up with, a food protocol that was in the early stages of COVID, of course. That has been improved, and it will be improved again in 2021. We as an hotel, we do have a full protocol in place. With regards of social distancing, we do have alternate floor plans that we are not for now, showcasing on the websites, because we don't know what's going to happen when we reopen. But we do have, of course. And we are ready as well, in case it's needed to share with each and every customer that requires. But of course, I think Marriott has done a huge job as well in terms of, ensuring the cleanliness of the space. For instance, all the staff is asked to wash their hands every 20 minutes, to change the face mask twice for every shift, especially for the people, customer facing. Completely revise the buffet approach and the room cleanliness. So we do sanitize the rooms, and then we allow the client to choose whether we have to and we can enter the room again during the stay. So I think it all just, in a way helped us, pass me that word, in getting more confidence into the client, and in getting closer to the customer and the customer needs, which is at the end what really matters.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. It's the confidence, and you have all the bases covered. So we know that already. And you also have event specific COVID details. I mean, we have a lot of discussion, amongst us meeting planners about, what do we need to do to secure the safety of our delegates. And one is now, it's very heavily used also in USA, is that thermal scanning on arrival, of course, also the certifications. So have you had thermal scanning this spring already, or?
But actually, the hotel did not open this year because of huge mass cancellations, and of course by missing the US market, that was pretty unsense for us to open. But we do have, and we will have thermal screening. We will have a full protocol for mice, but again, we set the base of a standard protocol that we will, of course, discuss each and every time with the event planner and with the customer directly upon check-in. So talking about mice, of course, we will share with the event planner the food protocol we have, if there is something more that needs to be done, because we have seen as well, of course, the COVID regulation, they change according to each and every country. So we're happy to adapt. Of course, we always aim to keep the strongest, protocol in place. But we are open to discuss with the event planner whether they need to have a bit more reassurance, or it's just something more to add to the checklist of the event planning. So it's nothing scary or serious. It's just something more.
Exactly. We have we are very straightforward process. So like you said, it's just a few more ticks, in the list. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Can we summarize, Anna, just for those who just came midway to our live virtual site visit from Visualizer? How do you actually get to the property using the map? And also, how can I share this particular page to my clients without updating it every time?
Yes.
As in when I have a new chef or a new menu coming next week or a Christmas menu, for example, I will be using the same link, right?
That's correct. So all these images that we are going through, they have a unique link. So for example, if you want to share with your group that there's a cooking academy, we go on the bottom right, and here you see the link. So this is actually the top one here, could be put, for example, the event website. So if we are organizing as event organizers a cooking class for our, let's say, C-level attendees, you know, we want to put in our internal newsletter, or we want to put on the website. So we would take this link here, or we can take a link which will actually be specific. If I zoom in into the image, it will actually automatically, as you can see, it keeps on changing. So the link is the actual zoomed image. So you can really pinpoint details like we looked at, you know, towels or maybe the screen. Tech companies really want to sometimes, you know, they were quite specific, or food items, you know, that maybe there's a chef, you know, who wants to launch a new product. So we can share the exact image that, you know, this is where they can place their products during the cooking class, cooking academy, or things like that. So it really gives us a way to work as a meeting planners to communicate now, you know, remotely, as in distance. But we've been using this actually for 4 years already, this same tool. So because, you know, it's kind of, what happens is we do 5 site visits a day. We have 5 different properties. And then we need to highlight our kind of USPs, or what we really liked about that one property, that why we want to recommend or choose that one. So we go back into virtual site visit, and then we start reminiscing and talking about, for example, the here the capacity chart is quite important, so we can remind ourselves this is actually the regular capacity chart. So we would just take about 50% off from these numbers right now, but it's okay. We are booking for next year and for 2022 as well. So that's why these numbers are still relevant for us. And in terms of floor plan, we can really plan around the flow of the event, you know, where everybody's staying, and how we want the event to take place, for example, when privatizing this island. And then we can always contact Gianluca to ask for more details.
Exactly. And, I think, yeah, I
anytime.
My client here who is attending with us is actually saying that, of course, they're considering going to Italy next year. And the way we work is that this is a public link, which we will use everywhere, anytime, on the bus, on the airplane. And for my clients right now attending, we can, of course, schedule an exclusive presentation with you, or you could really go to your corporates and your team and just present this public link, which we have added here. It's available. And of course, you can invite Gianluca, as if you are expecting 100 delegates to go to JW Marriott next year. I think Anna, myself, and Gianluca would be just glad to assist you, familiarize your delegates to this.
Even if not 150 are okay. To start.
Even if it's 10.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay for the reopening.
So when are you planning to reopen? So when could we?
Actually, it varies. Normally it's March, but that depends. Every year depends from the events we have. Usually we've always been able to open very early in March. So usually around the 6, 7, 8 across that. Now we have a couple of groups in pipeline. So we see whether they get confirmed. We're going to open in March. Most probably March and April, we're going to, if we have events, we're going to just open for the events. And then go full live, let's say, end of April. So last week of April, first week of May.
Okay, yeah. Let's hope so. We have the vaccines now out in the market, and
absolutely. We just hope and looking forward for that.
Yeah, we can discuss about the very flexible contracting contracting methods right now with Marriott. I think that's one thing. If you open in April, are we able to be flexible for the next
Absolutely.
first 2 quarters?
There's plenty of promotion that Marriott is launching. You know, first and foremost, of course, flexibility. So that's not only in the hardware, but in the software as well. So flexibility in payments, flexibility in terms of cancellation. We do have a promotion which is available again for full 2021, which is the triple points promotion. And within you have a few perks. One of them is, of course, to triple your points when you book your Bonvoy points. When you book an event for us, you have 1 in 10 complimentary. You have a very good thing for a planner perspective is that you can, you know, one of the perks you can choose is a 5% discount on the final bill. So that really counts a lot, you know, because we know that for how much will there is in travel again, you know, money will have a big weight next year. So we do want to support, we as Marriott, we as hotel, we do want to support, you know, and to, again, instill the confidence that we can do it and you have our full support. If it works, that's great for everyone. If it doesn't, we understand why and, you know, we move forward. So, but I think, you know, getting back 5% of the total spend is something that, you know, has to be weighted really attentively.
Definitely. I mean, like you said, that does help. We are quite price sensitive at the moment, you know, when we're choosing those. But we also notice that these companies that we work with, that the budget has stayed pretty similar. It's just now on hold. So there's actually going to be quite a healthy chunk to use. So it's just a matter of, you know, which properties they will be choosing. And so far our bigger companies, they are probably, and not officially, but discussing that somewhere around July, August, you know, they are looking at having their live events, smaller ones before that. And again, sensitive to the destinations, and those with outdoor space and less people will most likely be, as we know, the first ones.
Yeah.
So benefit from this. And then moving forward, I mean, our organization had quite a healthy November, actually. So we had most bookings last month that we've had all year. And actually, it is third of the normal, but it's still a good health because we're always booking 6 to 12 months ahead. So yes, most of them are going towards, well, the big events 22, but the smaller events are already dotting around. So that's good. I think vaccination, the news really helped to boost the confidence of at least preliminary bookings. So we're really looking forward to catering maybe 10, 15 people in resorts like this, and then hopefully building up to the larger events, you know, as we go.
Yeah.
So those that are wanting to book JW Marriott in Venice, we do have Gianluca Masserio here, and you will be able to get in directly with contact with the senior my sales director. You know, Gianluca is, you know, really, you know, has a lot of stories also to tell about the property we noticed. So I'm sure there's more, you know, whichever area you wanted to ask more questions for. And it actually helps to build this storyline around the event, that there's this history as well.
Correct.
And for meeting planners, of course, who want to invite JW Marriott to present with Gianluca or Helms Briscoe with Anna and I myself, would be really happy to assist you in getting those bookings for 2021 onwards. So from my spot here in Espoo, it's almost time to say sayonara, or is it in Italian? Grazie.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Exactly. And Merry Christmas for those that we don't see perhaps before New Year's. And we do have one more site visit to do this year on Thursday, if you want to turn in. And then we're heading to January. So really looking forward to next year so we can travel again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
So much.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Jenny.
Stay safe.